going on, guys? It's pilleater. I thought I would talk today about a very important issue within the haposphere, as a name that's being given by some, between the Hapa subreddit and Asianarianism. And this is the ideal that I think this is a general thing too in like political correctness as well. Is that do white guys really fetish Asian girls, and how do you separate them from the authentic white guys that do admire, Asian women, love their culture, and, have your Asian children? How do you make of that dichotomy? Some of my friends I know, and as well as talking to some people on the internet, this kind of thing that's going about is that, in this politically correct world, we have race-blind egalitarianism, and then whites are not supposed to, think about themselves as white people, and so they think everybody is the same or something. When it turns out, when they approach other people, namely like blacks or even, and Asians, it becomes like, no, they get racist for being anti-racist. This is the same argument Christian Lander puts in his book, Stuff White People Like. White people only voted for Barack Obama, so they wouldn't be called a racist. So we're now at this apex of this kind of dying generation in the 1980s that was colorblind, racism. And now it's this, I like to call it this liberal feudalist, white people who basically are anti-white but allow other non-whites to practice self-determination in their own racial interests, but so as long as white people pay for it. And this is what we see the rise of the alt-right and all this nationalist, anti-liberal stuff happening. So it turns out, with the millennials, there are some millennials now dating Asian girls within their teenagers or 20 years. And what's happening is there's claims that some of these, white men who are like all alpha into sports, who, are normies, are approaching Asian girls and basically like treating them like white girls. They treat them as an exotic creature, a sex object. They'll meet them at the bar, some sporting events or whatever in the college. Hey, I like you because you have slit eyes and brown skin or whatever. But then it's like they want to have sex or something. They're asking you for a blowjob or whatever. And some Asian girls get onto that, and they get, they don't like that, and they call it, a form of racism. And some of those normie girls, where you want to call them, like whitewashed Asians or something. It's just that Asian girls, like Tila Tequila, they don't have that agency, and they have to play a part of that white standard, which creates pretty much depression and suicide and all this factors at land. And the Asian male has no place to go. He basically is self-hating, as Saul on the Hapa Reddit, and there is some wisdom there. However, I'd like to talk about, that's true. I really don't, I think multicultural and diversity, the whole era is basically just a facade for white liberals and for the white normie class to say everything is white. And they really don't have devotion towards Asian girls unless they really say, hey, I want to mix my genes. I really love Asian culture. I love you beautifully. It's not because of these things. And it's really hard to say that if you have this PC SJW culture that says, no, you're not, you're thinking of that. And so, the whole Asian Aryan project is going to be attacked at because it is fetishizing or, thinking Asian women as a sex object. And I think that's totally not true. Now, of course, there is this weird deviant area of the internet of people into pornography and race play. And they tend to think, oh yeah, I'm a white supremacist. I believe in Asian women on my side. Yeah, like Ling Anderson and the whole Jennifer Suzuki, My Submission to White Power, Confessions of an East Asian Woman. They're all like, well, there'll be a new white race that's Asian and white male. And but we can't have sons either, because Asian males are pathetic. We're going to have beautiful Eurasian women because Eurasian women are beautiful. And so I've yet to make another video, or at least I was publishing on the Asian Aryan forums. Please join that if you have a chance. There's a little forum discussion on the Asian Aryan website where I did post some thoughts about my point on Asian males. Now, that's kind of a different subject on its own, but I believe, Asian males, are the equivalent to whites. They're my brother, And Asian males know that white men, are their brothers too. Same with sisters as well. I think it's a progressive and good thing if there's Asian male, white female. That's all good. Now, and I also, believe that there has to be this healthy Asian Aryan patriarchy, which means good Asian male, white male, Eurasian males leading everything. And that's being respectful. But anyway, so this really leads to the question about the fetishizing part and how do you be really authentic with your message. Now, I don't know, I really don't think as the Asian Aryan Project as a fetish thing. I understand there are people into that whole race play fetish thing, and it gives them, I guess, a space to talk about these things. The same way a white nationalist place would give those weird 1488ers, the trads, there's an intersectional alt-right thing. Asian Aryanism is an intersectional haposphere. So we have all these people who do like, Asian guys, Asian girls, the interracial between white male, Asian female. And they're all talking about this in an unapologetic anti-liberal matter that's red-pilled and anti-SJW. That is a good thing. And so I want to encourage that. I don't want to be pinholed and say, oh, we're a bunch of sexual deviants. As I said before, one thing about trolling and having fun, we could still do it in a jokey manner, but we're also serious. We're trying to get social issues across. I really do not like the approach of the HAPA subreddit, as it tends to be more victim status and self-defeating and suicidal, and it sees itself as, you're right, people are better off in their own shoes, whites for whites, Asians for Asians. If you're mixed with races, you're evil, right? It's just a complete who's right. That sounds like it's supporting the alt-right. So, if you're really for a third position, I call it the Asian Aryan position, then you would support a good bond between whites and Asians. And if you know the Asian male and Asian female as your brother or sister, you would treat her that same way and have respect for that. Their white men, I believe, have this profound beauty for Asian women. They love the features and personalities. That is different from the white woman today, who's engulfed in feminism and all this terrible stuff that the normal white man can't handle. He has to basically be a pickup artist or something silly to overcome that. That's too stressful for the STEM guy, the science, technology, engineering, math white guy. And so that's why he always goes with Asian women. It's because it's at the heart that matters, and it's showing that there's two cultures and they're having a bond with one another. And so I think of the whole event as really just you're seeing a lot of a 14% as Diversity Inc. An American Renaissance has says, and an increase in white male Asian female relationship is probably because of an alternative to the decadence we see in our society. That white male, white female relationships are so bad that to find the good life, you have to approach an Asian female. And that's what good white men do. And the decadent white men, like I just said, hang out at the seedy bar or whatever, ingratiates themselves with sluts, go and they approach like Asian girls like porn stars, whatever. That's its own culture of own. And as much as I love like Harriet Sugar Cookie or Miko Dai, I would like them to support an Asian Marian message as well, as you need this kind of Valkyrie woman or Playboy girl to encourage white men to do these things. But I'm for the stable and harmonious society between that, and there has to be this collective good between white male, Asian male, white female, Asian female, and there's equality between those two groups. And so I guess the concluding remark is that I will agree that yes, there is a fetish culture among these normie white males who look at Asian girls because so as long as they act white, right? But there is an inner desire that they do love Asian women. It just has to be retaught or reteach that they should have a new destiny planned out or self-determination for an Asian Aryan one. I said this before in an old video about new cucks. Basically, white liberals are these like pathetic guys who they have their Eurasian kids and their Asian wife. You point it out and they want to say it's egalitarian. Has nothing to do with their interest in. And yes, it does. Asian Aryanism is against the whole ideal that everything is relative. No, this is a bond between whites and Asians, and this is a group that has these interests. that contradicts with the race-blind interests of what other high New York Times readings white liberals might think. And so, yeah, this is something of a revolt against modernity. But at the same time, however, Asian Arianism, I think, is progressive. And so we have to value and show authenticity through why they like the other side, the bridge, why white men desire Asian women, why Asian women desire white men, why do, and get it out with Asian men too, why Asian men desire some Eurasian or white women as well as that, especially white women desiring Asian men. That has to be get out there. There has to be this community together, whether this community is in San Francisco or Los Angeles, the West, if it's a West Coast thing, or a Chinatown area in the urban city place. I mean, I've been saying this for some time now, that you'll find these Wamafel types in Asian American communities, in these punk rock shows, these art galleries, these vegan restaurants, these nerd conventions, whatever. The point is to yellow pill these people. And I think this is a demonstration, of yellow pilling. Get the fetish guy on the yellow pill, make him stop fetishizing, and make him become a man, and make his desires what he really wants, all right? There's the whole anime right that basically argues that, we're just Nazis that like anime, but that's completely futile. The real white fetish are the anime right, as they believe that they'll go so far to masturbate to hangtai and watch anime, but refuse to be or appreciate the culture. They just go with their white women. It's pathetic. And I think there is some shunning, or there should be some shunning to white guys who do that, or at least And so I think Asian Arianism is a true, authentic thing that is happening, and this needs to be addressed. And I think if you're really authentic, you would show your love. Most guys who go to Asian language for Japanese, Chinese, or Korean, they are already showing an authenticity to learn Asian culture. They are learning. This is a good time to yellow pill people in their teen or 20 years. And that, I think this is happening at a huge rate. Once again, I'm pretty optimistic about the Asian Aryan thing, but we have to stay away from associations like the fetish thing, and we have to recorrect some of the liberals or SJWs or even HAPA, the angry HAPAs on the HAPA Reddit, that they think this is some kind of racist supremacist thing. It's not a supremacist thing at all. It is a natural current events, and it's about being unapologetic of who you desire. It's a new shoe allegory of who we preference.